Then I found PropertyEngine, and I spend an hour a day on PropertyEngine. I get like 2-3 deals a day to call agents for. It's like, okay,
Nice.
this number stack. When I speak to the agent, I have all the information in front of me on PropertyEngine, and I can speak to the agents like really confidently, even though I'm new in property sourcing. And they're like, oh yeah, Zach, you're right. How do you get this information so quick? Yeah, I've done my research, but actually just 1 minute on PropertyEngine. I sent out a few BTV letters. I got calls back from the recipient, and one of them said, are you a big company? Where are you based? I said, Covent Garden. Oh, you must be a big company because your letter looks good. I was like, okay, thank you, but I'm a one-man band.
Hey everyone, it's Jamie from PropertyEngine, and welcome back to our series where we interview all PropertyEngine users, everyone from people who are just getting started in property to experts in the field. We're learning how people are succeeding in property, getting their tips and tricks, and hearing from their success stories using PropertyEngine and how it has helped their process. And we're here today with Zach Yuso. Thank you so much for your time and for joining us today. Yeah, do you want to tell us a bit about yourself, introduce yourself and how you got into property?
Thanks, Jamie, and pleasure to be here. Thanks for inviting me to join this. So I'm Zach Yuso. What I do professionally, I'm a chartered accountant, but I'm a consultant on M&A. So any merger and acquisition that the companies or any company does, I will come in as a consultant pre-merger, during the merger and post-merger. My specialty is the integration post-merger, how the company operates harmoniously after the merger. One system, one brand, one name. So that's my specialty. And what was the second question? How do I get into property?
Yeah, like how do you go from doing that professionally to getting into property?
Yeah. So in my main work, it's very high pressurized environment and deadlines after deadlines, because when you deal with transactions, especially merger acquisition transactions, they want things to be quick. So there's a lot of stress there. And I'm always, in my mind, always thinking of moving from that environment to something that I love doing, which is property. And I was looking for an investment project myself, a flip project. I love doing flip. I've done a few back in my country in Malaysia. I have not done it in the UK yet, so I really want to do it in the UK. And while looking for my own flip project, I came across deal sourcing kind of role, deal sourcing job. So okay, this is interesting. I've never come across this, and the more I look into it, the more I can okay, I can actually look for my projects, and those that I do not want, I can actually sell it to someone who wants them, like maybe junk for one person, treasure to another, vice versa, something like, I can't remember the phrase exactly. So yeah, so I got into deal sourcing, and yeah, that's how I got into property.
Nice. So being a consultant with mergers and acquisitions, like you must have a very busy schedule, and you're doing property, the deal sourcing part-time. So how's that going? How's PropertyEngine helping with that process? Because you've got very limited time, right?
Yes, very limited time. I only work on properties either lunchtime, early morning, or after work in the evening. Before I found PropertyEngine, I was using Rightmove and Zoopla, and I found like in a week I couldn't find anything, because the amount of time taken to scrape the data to find the property that I want and analyze and call agents, it take me a week. So basically in a day I can spend an hour up to 2 hours a day to look for properties. But with Rightmove and Zoopla, a week spent of like 1 hour a day or 5 hours a week give me like sometimes no property that I want to call agent for, or the numbers didn't stack. Then I found PropertyEngine, and I spend an hour a day on PropertyEngine. I get like 2-3 deals a day to call agents for. It's like, okay,
Nice.
this number stack. This, I love how quick I can scrape data and analyze the properties, because PropertyEngine have the calculator tool, which I love, and the comparables, which is really, really efficient. It shows where the properties are, and it arranged by the most similar to the property I'm looking at. So yeah, that's big difference. So that makes me even more enjoying the journey in property sourcing.
Yeah. And how much time, like, overall, do you think PropertyEngine saves you from when you were having to use Rightmove and Zoopla?
Ooh, how much time is that? 1 hour? I think probably 80%. So
Nice.
if I spend 5 hours on Rightmove, I get one property. With PropertyEngine, I spend 5 hours, I probably get more than 10 properties.
So you mentioned obviously the deal sourcing. How's that going? You've been doing it since May, you said, right? So how's that going so far?
So I just started in May. The first 3 months I was doing Rightmove. I'm using Rightmove. So I've just started using PropertyEngine probably August, September time, I think. And it helps me a lot. It really, I think how PropertyEngine really helped me is when I speak to the agent, I have all the information in front of me on PropertyEngine, and I can speak to the agents like really confidently. And even though I'm new in property sourcing, they feel like I'm experienced when I talk to them. Because, for example, when the agents say, "Oh, Zach, this property you're looking at, I think once it's done up, the value is this," and then I can say, "But the comparable that I'm looking at right now in this road is value at this." So property really helps me with that information, and they said, "Oh yeah, Zach, you're right. How do you get this information so quick?" Yeah, I've done my research, but actually just 1 minute on PropertyEngine, not really proper research. And yeah, that's another example. The agent will like really so you gain agents' respect with PropertyEngine. And another, I think the thing that I gain is, well, I'm putting deals to investors right now. But I think what kind of success story that I have so far, the respect from the agents, that's really, really good. I built good relationship with the agents, and also the DTV letters. The DTV letters PropertyEngine has is really, really good. Look really professional. I came from a corporate world, and when I look at your letter, it fits the image that I want to represent.
Sure. Yeah.
So I sent out a few DTV letters. I got calls back from the recipient, and one of them said, "Are you a big company? Where are you based?" So my registered company is in in Holborn, Covent Garden, London. I said, "Covent Garden, oh, you must be a big company because your letter looks good." I was like, "Okay, thank you, but I'm a one-man band." But yeah, it looks really professional. I really like the DTV letters.
That's great. So you've had success with the DTV letters, and it's making a good first impression when the vendor receives it.
Yeah.
Because people get a lot of letters through, so it's good if you can stand out with a nice letter, and the fact that you've had a phone call from it is great.
Yeah, so that's my success story so far with using PropertyEngine. The respect is the respect is huge for me.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point, actually, that we don't kind of touch on enough, is that because you've got all of the information not just straight in front of you, but it's so quick to get onto it, you can just be on the phone with the agent and bouncing between looking at different properties even, and you can just instantly pull up the numbers whilst you're on the phone and just at a quick glance seem very knowledgeable with that area.
Exactly. And I just remember yesterday the agent sent me a link, so I was on the phone with him. The property that I'm looking at, he said, "Okay, that's under offer, but I'm gonna send you another." So he gave me Rightmove link. Quickly, I get the Rightmove link. I put it on PropertyEngine, which PropertyEngine has that tool that you can put on Rightmove, which is really, really helpful. And I put on PropertyEngine the link. I look at the property and I said, "Wow, this need major work." "Wow, that is only 30 seconds. I sent you the link. How do you know?" I haven't even looked at the photo, but I know PropertyEngine has the label "major work needed."
Yeah, the
condition. Yes, okay, this needs major work. I said, "Wow, Zach, you're so quick." I was like, "Yes, I know." So it's really, really helpful. It makes things so much more, so much easier, so much more efficient.
which is such a big part of property, is speaking with the agents and like building that relationship with them. So if you're speaking with them and you know your stuff, you've got all the information and you've got all the data, and then they know that you're not just mucking around and that you're serious about it. So yeah, that's a really good point. Okay, so you've shared what you've been up to so far. What are your plans going forward in property into next year, 2026?
So I made connections with a few investors. Next year, 2026, there are a few interested parties to JV with me, to partners. So I'm probably gonna go a bit bigger than I expected. Instead of doing it alone, I'm probably doing it with some partners. So because there's a few people wanting to invest, and even one of the agents that I built a relationship with, they said that if you are looking for investors, reach out to me. So yeah.
Nice.
So my 2026 plan is doing deal sourcing on this as well, but also working on a few flip projects, hopefully.
With some JV partners, yeah.
Yes, JV partners.
That's very exciting, yeah. Yeah, like you said, you want to start doing some flip projects in the UK, and I think there's like, if you can find the deals, then that's obviously where you can make a lot of money, because you can bring the planning into it and then obviously see the project through. And if you can do both stages of that, then you see a lot of uplift in value. So yeah, that's great. And how do you think what tools are you going to be using on PropertyEngine to help with those flips, do you think?
Sorry, what? Sorry?
What tools do you think you'll be using on PropertyEngine to help find those flips?
Wow, a lot. I like your filtration on need modernizing and back and reduce. That back and reduce really important. It sort of filter give me the desperate sellers, because the back and reduce means they can't sell them back on the market. And also you have these probate options. That probate properties is really helpful for me, because normally in probate you want to sell really quick and need modernizations a lot. So those are the tools that really help me in looking for deals. And I also like your pipeline. So in Pro Package, you have these pipelines. It helps a lot in organizing my search, because I'm not looking only at one location. I'm looking at a few locations at the moment, because I have a few investors interested in different locations. So the pipeline tool that you have in PropertyEngine really helped me organize things, like group the properties at what stage they are, and then group the properties by locations, the properties I'm interested in. So that's really make my life so organized. I didn't feel, I like organized things. So it's so clean and really.
Do you have a different pipeline set up for the different locations that you're looking at, or do you have it all in one pipeline?
I have different pipelines.
Okay.
So first I subscribe to Basic. Basic only give you one pipeline. So I feel a bit muddled up in one pipeline. So I subscribe to Pro Package, which gives me set up a few pipelines. So I group it by locations. And within that location, for example, I live in Orpington probate. So I group that one pipeline, and Orpington back and reduce another pipeline. So yeah, so I love that as well.
Nice. Was the letter that you sent and you got the response from the vendor, was that probate then, not off-market probate, or what was that?
That was probate, yes.
Yeah. So you used the off-market probate to find that lead and to send the letter, and then you heard from the vendor. Yeah, that's great.
Yes, correct.
And is that progressing? Have you heard anything further beyond that, or?
Yes, I'm in a conversation with 2 sellers at the moment in negotiation. So we'll see what comes out of it. And those 2 I found from PropertyEngine.
Nice. Fingers crossed. Yeah, that sounds very exciting.
Yeah, I just remember one other thing that really helped me in PropertyEngine is you can export the addresses to
Uh-huh.
an Excel. And then I use that when I send the TV letters, I export that addresses to Excel, and I can track
Hmm.
which letters or which address has responded to me, which hasn't. So those who hasn't, I can send maybe a follow-up letter or something. But the fact that I can export it without manually typing it,
Yeah.
that's really, really good, really helpful. I mean, I have someone, my deal source, someone deal source as well, who I know, they found addresses and they type it in Excel one by one. So if they're sending like 50 letters, that takes them like, I don't know, half an hour to
Yes.
the
Yeah. Yeah.
addresses. And for me, it's just 2 seconds to export the addresses to Excel, which is really good. That's another thing that I like in Property Engine.
You might like what we're working on now, which is you'll be able to basically set up a campaign where you can send a letter, like send a first letter and then wait a few weeks. If you haven't heard from them, automatically send another letter. And
Oh,
every letter as well, if you want to put like a website where someone can fill out a form, like a landing page, you can have a QR code on the letter, but the QR code will actually be different for every letter. So then we're going to be able to track if someone
wow.
scans the QR code, because there might be people who, if let's say you put a phone number on there and a QR code, they might not be ready to phone, but they might scan the QR code to see what it's about, and then they
Mhm.
might not fill out your form. But then we can at least tell you, oh, they showed some level of interest because they scanned the QR code. So
Wow,
that's
that's
something
brilliant.
we're working on. And yeah, you can, if you're happy using the spreadsheet, you can obviously do that, but you can also from within the pipeline in Property Engine, you can see when you last sent letters to each property. It's quite a new addition, so you might not have seen it before. And so from that, you can obviously then also, send out more letters or whatever it is that you need to find out from that. So yeah, we're just making it easier to track all of your letter campaigns in Property Engine itself. What sort of information are you using your spreadsheet for? Is it just to literally just see the addresses and when you last wrote to them?
Yeah, so far just to track each of addresses who has responded
Yeah.
and what stage of letter. So far I've sent once and the follow up
Yeah.
haven't seen the rest. So yeah, so only to track the letter.
Yeah. Yeah. So we want to try and bring as much of that into Property Engine as possible, so you don't need to worry about the spreadsheet. You can just track it within there. So yeah, we'll
That's
definitely,
great.
yeah.
That's genius, Amy.
We'll keep you posted on that. Cool. Okay. And yeah, what would you say to people who aren't yet using a tool like Property Engine and they might just be using the normal portals like Rightmove? What would you say to people who aren't using something like Property Engine?
If you want to save your time, use something else than Rightmove and Zoopla. Property Engine saves 80% of my time. If you're busy with the other work, you have main job, and you are doing this on the side, you do really need something like Property Engine to help you progress. Otherwise, when it's not progressing, you're not happy, and then you're gonna leave your dream away. So I think I start enjoying deal sourcing when I found this software and this tool, because it makes life so much easier. I can see progress so much faster.
Mhm.
So that makes me like, okay, my dream is achievable because this is progressing. So yeah, my advice is, if you want to achieve your dreams and see some progress, you need to kind of invest in something. And this is one of the, I think, more than worth it investment to do to get your deal sourcing or property work
Mhm.
progress faster.
I think that's such like a great message that you're conveying. Like, you're working as a professional doing mergers and acquisitions, and you've got this dream of getting into property. And I think so many people are in that spot and they just struggle, like they're so overwhelmed with how much stuff there is to do, because I think often property sold is like, oh, it's really easy to get into, but there is a
Yeah.
lot of stuff you need to do and a lot of processes you need to stay on top of. So yeah, I'm really glad that you are getting like saving so much time by using PropertyEngine in your day.
No, and also people give up easily if they don't enjoy the journey.
Yes.
So they have this dream and then they try it and they don't enjoy it. They didn't see progress and they give up. A lot of people give up halfway in chasing their dreams. So you need to enjoy what you're doing to make progress. And I think having a good software help you.
That's why I started PropertyEngine, because when I was starting out, when I did want to get into it, I was pretty much in your position. You know, I was working full time, and I was doing it on the side, and I was spending hours and hours and hours on Rightmove, like trying to find things. And I think what was really frustrating is because I'm someone who very much wants to like stay on top of things, you know. So what I found really frustrating with Rightmove is you can put all the time in to look at everything that's on Rightmove, and then you're like, okay, I can like sign off on that, you know, like I know I've checked everything. But then when you come back the next day, it's not clear what's new, like what you need to check, because obviously agents can bump stuff up, they can like say stuff's new even though it's not, and they can manipulate the listings, and so it's just not clear what requires my attention and time when I come back the next day. And that was really frustrating. I wouldn't even say frustrating. Yeah, I'd say like fatiguing, you know, like it would really drain you, because like I feel like I'm starting from scratch every day when I check it. And so I built it. The PropertyEngine started just as a little tool for myself, where it was just monitoring all the stuff going on and just tracking everything. And then I was similar to you. I was on like a little group of training, and some people like in the group saw this tool that I was using, and they were like, oh my God, like we need that. And like, yeah, this was like start of COVID time as well. So yeah, I basically quit my job and started working on this full time, and that was 5 years ago. All right, thank you so much, Sat, for coming on. I really appreciate it, and thanks for your time. And yeah, we'll put your Instagram so people can come and follow you as well. And yeah, we'll catch everyone on the next one.
It's my pleasure, Jamie. Thank you so much for having me.
Cheers.
The one I forgot to mention is the viewing planning.
Oh, you use the viewing.
Genius. Yeah, that's genius. The viewing planning.
Again, that was apart from the search, that was like the second thing I built ever, was the viewing planner. And again, it comes from just deeply rooted pain of me being in that position, like, you know, like I working full time, limited time to do property. I'm going out for a day to, you know, to my patch to do viewings, you know, driving 2 hours, and I just want to put as many viewings as I can into that day, you know, so it's not a waste of time. And yeah, there was, I just remember speaking to the estate agents, like how painful it was, and you know, they're like suggesting times, and then I'm on Google Maps trying to figure out if I can make it.
Same. I'm on Google Map trying to map the route. It took me like hours to map. I am viewing 7 properties in a day, so I have to kind of plan the route, which one is more efficient. But with PropertyEngine, it's so easy. This is genius. It's like, wow.
It's not a feature that gets like talked about or used that much, I think. But I when someone finds it and uses it, I like you know, I think you value it so much, because yeah, like I said, it comes from my own experience.
Your own pain.
Yeah, my own pain, exactly. Yeah, it was honestly, I think there's still a YouTube video knocking around on our YouTube channel somewhere. I think it's probably the first video we ever uploaded, and you can find it like with the viewing planner, and it's like there's nothing else on PropertyEngine apart from just this viewing planner and just a really basic search.
You need to promote that more, because that's really like save tons of like a lot of hours, hours to plan the viewing, and it's easy to view a lot of properties in one day if you have that thing to help you, you know.
Exactly.